When creationists talk about that we do not believe in evolution, we do believe in what we call microevolution. Um, we, we, we think of it as variation within a species, change within a species. This is documented fact. So, if I walk down the street enough times barefoot, I will develop a callus. But my feet will never become Goodyear tires or Canuck tires, whatever they're called. They won't become tires because the genetic data is simply not present. And so little changes happen, and a type can vary quite largely. But a chicken can never become a non-chicken. It can't become a toad, or a reptile can never become a bird. The genetic data simply is not present. Lots of little changes do not add up to a completely different kind. So there's no lasting evidence for that. You can say, well, I learned all this in public school, I learned all this in college. Yes, you may have learned all that, but did it last the test of time? Those things you were taught, they last the test of time, and they don't. So that's why I have a standing challenge to anybody to present me with evidence that supports macroevolution, this huge changes, that is 30 years old or older, and not refuted. And there's never been a single taker. It doesn't exist. You say, well, I learned this, 5 years ago, and you old man, you're 44, or whatever. Yes, I learned all sorts of things. I never went to public school. I went to other stuff, but I was exposed to a lot of it. And the facts are that when you look at what they taught in the public school textbooks, it was later proven false. A lot of it was proven false at the time it was taught. So when you say, well, I learned this, my nephew just recently was taught that the appendix is vestigial. I mean, it's like medicine has known for a long time what the purpose of the appendix was. But it's still in the textbooks. They won't update. Texas is the only state in the country, the last I knew, that forces public schools to update their textbooks and remove anything that is known to be false. So you can collect all these little proofs, and they were not true. So what happens is people come to me with the latest proof. And I say, nope, not even going to deal with it. You got to give it time, because the scientific method requires that you give evidence time to see if it lasts. And what happens is proponents of Darwinian evolution later disprove earlier beliefs. I say, well, it's always updating. It's always getting better. I'll say it is. It's erasing its past. If you believe in macroevolution, if you believe in Darwinian evolution, you're like someone who is crawling up a ladder. You're crawling, and man, it's been 5 years, and I'm learning so much. And you're still on the ground, because every time you took one step up, the rung underneath disappeared, and you're still on the ground. You've gotten nowhere. So, I challenge people, present to me evidence that favors Darwinian evolution, macroevolution, that is 30 years old or older and not refuted. I've never seen a single example.